profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me heat it up, let me focus. I'm going toe to toe with foes. I know they notice. I kick in doors, they only hope for closing. Right? Cause they know I go again. And when they get it dry, I'm the one that can make it flow again. Talk to me nice, my team, they ready to go again. Running in the house, we're glad we send you home again. We don't talk, better know the grind won't match my walk. I'm a cheat code, I don't take no loss. Making no sense, run up, let's go. Cause all I do is win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me.
Ну, можно сказать, с чистой совестью. Больше 2 недель я отпахал. Такой специально подготовительный этап был. Больше работали над выносливостью, можно сказать, так грубо говоря. Делали также спарринги, все так же, но некоторые элементы добавили. Там бег был у нас, еще некоторые задания, чтобы увеличить вообще выносливость.
Обычно мы, когда на бой готовимся, мы проходим 3 этапа. Это базовый этап, специально подготовительный этап и уже подводящий этап. Это 3 совершенно разные работы. А сейчас мы совместили базовый и специально подготовительный. То есть это функциональная работа 2 раза в неделю и специально беговая тоже 2 раза в неделю. Вот на горках то, что мы делали максимальную лактатную мощность, мы ее добавили с исламом, когда несколько раз срезы. То есть каждый раз мы, когда начинаем подготовку, мы делаем разные срезы, и вот все эти разные срезы есть на бумаге. Вот этот дневник, который я всегда с собой ношу, ислам, который так любит. И вот там все его цифры, ну, цифры не обманешь, и есть прогрессия.
The bottom line about Islam is no one's able to get away from him. Very good standing up now, and he gets a hold of you, you're a f***spill. He has a different kind of wrestling. His submissions are f***ing insane too. He's just got a vice grip, man. I know. Because when I would stand next to him in the octagon when he was the 55-pound champion, I'd be like, how? Yeah. How do you weigh 55? That doesn't even make any sense. You're 190 pounds right now. Yeah. Guaranteed. If I put you on a scale, you weigh 190. If Ian Garry can get off sharp combinations early, he could stun him. Yeah. Because Ian can move. He's fast as and he's super accurate. And the way he throws his strikes is like real clean. Yeah. No fat in his move. Pop, pop. Yeah. Everything's like, pop, pop. Yeah, he's not like a physically overpowering guy. It's technique. His technique is sharp.
If you don't risk it, or you don't even believe in it, you'll never get there. So when you sit down and say to me, how do I not get overwhelmed? How do I not feel the pressure? I dreamt all this into reality. I've manifested everything that I've done in my career to be the point it is. And anything that's not gone perfectly has pushed me and driven me to get better. This is the fight I've been begging for. This is the fight I've deserved, I've earned, against the toughest task. There is no tougher challenge. You cannot name me a fighter right now in recent history who has tried to come up and competed against this level of champion, a 2-weight world champion, on a record-setting, unbeaten streak in the UFC, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. It's the toughest challenge for a challenger to become the champion ever, and I thrive off that excitement.
Islam Makhachev issues scary warning to the whole welterweight division. New footage of the champion grinding through brutal training sessions under the watchful eye of Khabib Nurmagomedov has shocked fans and fighters. The pace, the intensity, the relentless pressure, everyone's asking the same question: is an even more dangerous Makhachev about to enter the octagon? The champion is looking to dominate, not just win, as per the latest clips released with his title defense versus Ian Machado Garry looming large.
I think it's a huge fight too, and it just we got to enjoy it because I swear Islam probably got 2 fights left.
Yep.
2 fights, maybe even 1. He's 35 years old, I'm pretty sure.
Is he really?
Well, Habib retired at what age?
31.
31?
Maybe 32.
So he retired at that age. Islam's 35, I'm pretty sure. So we got to enjoy these last fights. Some people, you could call Islam the greatest out there. And he's probably got 1-2 more fights.
I mean, his last fight was against DDP, or no, was it against DDP? Or no, it was against who was that 170? Fuck, who did he just fight? He's 34. Who the fuck did Islam just fight? And it wasn't like he just took the belt from him. JDM. And that people were pissed about that fight. Remember? Took him down, held him down for 25 minutes. It was not people were like, this is not what we want to watch. And that's sometimes just how you have to win fights. So if like he goes out there and does beat Ian in that same fashion, that's gonna hurt his greatest of all time conversation.
Being held down for 25 minutes and just having a boring fight. He's a phenomenal wrestler, a phenomenal grappler. And if you allow him the ability to stay on top and utilize his grappling and his wrestling, he can suffocate you and just lie on you like a weighted blanket, and you just find it so hard to move. And I'm like, that's not fun for anyone. It's not fun for me. It shouldn't be fun for him. And it's definitely not fun for anyone watching. So I feel like, and he did that. He did exactly that to win the world title fight. And I feel like that's the worst case scenario. All of those things go through my mind, and it's the same with this fight now when I'm going in to fight the world champion. I'm already thinking about who do I want to defend against. So I feel like you have to think about all of those things so that when I get on the mic and someone puts a microphone in my face straight after for the post-fight interview, I'm ready. I've already dreamt, thought, understand what I want to do next, and it's in me. It's that competitive nature, that competitive spirit that I thrive off.
That'd be sick.
What do you think about Ian Garry? I mean, we spoke about the fight previously already on a program, but obviously his prediction is it's going to go into the last. He doesn't want to finish it early. He wants to kind of dominate and then finish it later in the fight. I spoke to Javier Mendez about that, and he's like, "Nah, dude, like,
yeah,
I would never tell my fighters."
About that.
Yeah, he's like, "I would never tell my fighters to do that." For me, when I hear that prediction, I think he basically knows he's going to have his work cut out for him at the start of the fight, and he's just kind of predicting because he knows he can't just go out there and destroy Islam in the first round, you know. So he's just trying to make his prediction work with the way that he's planning to win the fight. But what do you think about him trying to make it sound like that this is my prediction and this is how I want it to go later on in the fight?
Yeah, I think that obviously, I mean, that's true. Like from a perspective of like just the truth. I mean, he's not the type of guy that's just going to KO you in the first round. You know what I mean? Like it's just not really what he does, because he's really smart. Like he's very defensively sound. He plays really long. I think the leg kicks and like the oblique kicks and the head kicks and just the frame difference between them means that Ian Garry's probably going to play. Those training clips have only increased the belief that Makhachev is coming into this fight on a different level. Now, another respected MMA figure has echoed that sentiment with a confident prediction on what awaits Garry. Garry will not be able to fight as he normally does, Magomedchenko Zainukov believes, because Islam's constant threat of takedowns will make him doubt his attacks at every turn. He feels the Irishman's trademark high kicks, oblique kicks, and long-range striking will be much less effective against a champion who has also made giant strides in his stand-up game. Makhachev is a complete fighter, and in the opinion of Zainukov, Garry will have very few openings to take advantage of.
Магомед, если представим, что следующим оппонентом Ислама станет Иан Гарри, вот сможет ли Ислам составить полную конкуренцию как раз в этой части, в стойке, если бой будет проходить?
Знаете как, Ислам не даст Гарри сделать то, что он делал другим бойцам. Ислам, если его один раз завалит, он уже больше не сможет эти хай-кики, что он там бьет постоянно одно и то же в чашку. Ислам ему не даст это сделать, потому что Ислам это вообще другой боец.
Просто я к чему говорю, что Ислам доказал, что он из стойки может перебить кого угодно.
Ну, я и говорю же, да, Иан Гарри очень хороший в стойке и такой интересный, такой игровик, но Исламом он не сможет так это делать.
А то, что вот, например, если опять же про Иена говорить, у него рост 191 сантиметр, а у Ислама 178, по-моему. Насколько это, я не знаю.
Да не,
зрения ударки.
рост, я думаю, никакое значение не имеет, потому что я когда дрался с тайцами, тайцы были на 3-4 головы выше меня, я же говорю, это не имеет значения.
Zainakov expects Garry to face a tough time inside the octagon, but the Irish contender's fighting style isn't the only aspect that's being criticized. MMA Guru also took issue with Garry's recent public statements, stating he has slowly alienated many of his former supporters. The YouTuber said Garry's outspoken personality and controversial statements have made him more difficult to support for some people. He even claimed Garry's recent comments about women running the world were an attempt to appeal to a different demographic ahead of his high-stakes battle with Islam Makhachev, believing he is trying to expand his fan base before the biggest fight of his life.
You know, he's literally the living embodiment of she's not going to let you hit, bro. And she is his own wife. Okay? He said, if the world was run by women, we'd all live in a better world. If we just listen to them and let them take over, it would be an easier world. And he's just coming out with this stuff. I think Ian Garry's lost the fellas. Okay, we're going to listen to it in his own words. I think he's lost the support of the lads. Okay? I think he really has over the past few years, just based on how fucking annoying he is to listen to as a person. And how just merely listening to him feels like a fucking punishment. It really does. So I think he's just sort of like branching out and trying to cling to another fan base that may rally behind him against Islam Makhachev.
But MMA Guru didn't stop there. He continued to mock Garry's comments, saying the welterweight contender hurts his own brand every time he speaks in public. The YouTuber said Garry has all the qualities to be a popular fighter, but keeps undermining himself with comments that many fans find frustrating or out of touch. He sarcastically mocked Garry's assertion that the world would be a better place if women were in charge, joking about how that might play out, before reaffirming his opinion that Garry's biggest problem isn't his talent in the cage, but rather how he presents himself outside of it. Then MMA Guru also criticized the way Garry spoke about his childhood, saying he was making ordinary experiences sound much worse than they really were. He poked fun at Garry's story about getting his hands dirty growing up, arguing that it hardly compared to the genuine hardships many people have to deal with. That said, he stressed that his personal opinion of Garry doesn't affect how he views him as a fighter. In fact, he believes Garry has the skills to beat Islam Makhachev and could even become a UFC champion. Still, he maintained that Garry's personality makes him very difficult to root for. Not everybody is writing Garry off despite the bad rap he received. Even former UFC bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley recently endorsed the Irish fighter, stating that he doesn't see why Garry couldn't upset the champion. O'Malley stated that Garry's size, reach, movement, and the belief that Garry possesses could pose serious problems for Makhachev. He also spoke about Khabib Nurmagomedov admitting himself that Garry is a tough stylistic matchup for him due to length and mobility, and went on to say that this fight is far from being just another title fight, stating that it is actually an exciting style clash between Ireland and Dagestan. As much as O'Malley is convinced that Garry is ready to test the champion's mettle, the discussion soon veered off to Makhachev's career and legacy in the sport. Along with Tim Welch, he mused that Islam has probably had his last few bouts and that each one of them is crucial at this point. As Welch advised the fans to appreciate the remaining years of the fighter, O'Malley stressed that the way he wins the fights is just as important as the win itself. O'Malley is of the opinion that if Islam Makhachev goes on to defeat Ian Machado Garry with his wrestling style, which cuts the excitement down, people will question him again about the entertainment quotient. That debate over Garry's personality has also spread to fellow UFC fighters. Featherweight contender Bryce Mitchell admitted he has completely given up on watching Garry's interviews, despite still having plenty of respect for his abilities inside the octagon. Mitchell criticized several of Garry's recent public comments, saying they left him with no interest in hearing the Irishman speak anymore. However, he made it clear that his frustration is aimed at Garry's opinions rather than his fighting skills. In Mitchell's view, Garry remains one of the most talented welterweights in the UFC, and someone capable of producing exciting performances whenever the cage door closes, Attention is also beginning to shift beyond the fight itself and toward the pre-fight mind games. MMA YouTuber Bedtime MMA suggested that Garry could struggle to win over the crowd despite his confidence on the microphone. He argued that Garry's outspoken, self-assured personality often divides fans, whereas Makhachev's calm demeanor and understated sense of humor make him far easier to support. While Bedtime MMA acknowledged that Garry has the charisma to create entertaining exchanges, he believes the audience will overwhelmingly back the champion, making the press conferences and face-offs almost as compelling as the fight itself. Continuing his analysis, Bedtime MMA also weighed in on Garry's bold prediction that he would dominate Makhachev before securing a late finish. He argued that the forecast says more about Garry's expected approach than supreme confidence, suggesting the Irishman understands he faces a difficult opening to the fight. According to the YouTuber, Garry isn't known for explosive first-round knockouts, but instead relies on patience, defense, and intelligent shot selection. He expects Garry to use his height, reach, oblique kicks, leg kicks, and long-range striking to manage the distance, making it a tactical battle rather than an all-out firefight from the opening bell. He went on to explain why he doesn't completely dismiss Garry's prediction of a late stoppage, noting that the Irishman has a habit of growing stronger as fights progress. Rather than chasing an early finish, Garry typically starts cautiously before increasing the pressure in the championship rounds, where he has produced some of his best moments. Even so, the YouTuber remains unconvinced that Makhachev will be the man Garry finishes. In his view, if Garry pulls off the upset, it is far more likely to come by decision, while Islam carries the greater finishing threat overall. He ultimately expects a competitive fight that goes the full 5 rounds. So, what do you make of Islam Makhachev's preparation for this fight? Is he on his way to another dominant title defense, or can Ian Machado Garry pull off the upset? Let us know your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more UFC updates.